Dirty Dan. I don't know what you mean. I'm Dirty Dan.
It's absolutely amazing.
I'm Dirty Dan.
Whoa, Dirty Dan.
Cartoon war broke out. In the early 2000s, a literal cartoon war broke out. Writers of The Simpsons, South Park, King of the Hill, and Ren and Stimpy were all attacking Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy. But it's not hard to see why they were upset. Family Guy was successful by repeating the same lazy comedic formula over and over again for decades, leading to 9 Primetime Emmy Awards and even a Grammy nomination. With tensions at an all-time high against Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane finally decided to respond to the criticism. And as a result, he created one of the most controversial episodes in animation history. It was so bad that the Fox network refused to air it on live TV, and many lost respect for Seth MacFarlane forever.
What about South Park?
They can go to hell.
Seth MacFarlane had a dark sense of humor, and he wanted to push the boundaries in the animation industry. As a kid, he was obsessed with cartoons like the Flintstones and Woody Woodpecker. He would spend hours drawing and studying these classic animated shows. By the time he was 9, he was already publishing a weekly comic strip
That's what I'm saying to you.
Newspaper. But unlike other aspiring animators who were writing kid-friendly cartoons,
how the hell you gonna come here to change the game title? Ain't even say hi.
He wasn't interested in heartwarming stories. He wanted to stir the pot with edgy
Don't even know
jokes.
what we got going on.
Did he get in any trouble for his drawing?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
He was the cartoonist for the school paper, and the character in his cartoon is taking communion. The comment underneath said, "Could I have fries with that, please?"
And Seth can still remember how a local priest reacted to that cartoon.
Dear Seth, shame on you for insulting the Almighty God and those who love him.
After studying animation at the Rhode Island School of Design, MacFarlane caught the attention of Hanna-Barbera Productions with his thesis film, Life of Larry.
Why you finna play that BS
Call his parents if he's
on
gonna be out
Tay-Day?
late. You know, I mean,
What's wrong
especially
with
in a
you?
city like this, it ain't safe. You know, Lois. I mean, even in this.
First off, you haven't even been here, so you don't even know what we had planned on. And our rivals ain't even what we... Both of y'all are wrong. Both of y'all wrong. Your ass wasn't even here, so you don't know what we doing. What I'm playing is what Tay wanted me to play. You know what I'm saying? All in the sauce, don't know what's going on. No, it ain't rivals. Jesus.
Apartment. I mean, some nut was on the.
How about y'all niggas just relax and just say happy birthday Tay in the chat? How about y'all just do that and just relax?
Walking off the street, bang on the
Did
door.
y'all
the
eat?
man, God,
Are y'all hungry? Y'all niggas
Honey, I
malnourished?
think we should move.
Because your
During his
brains ain't
time at
operating right.
Hanna-Barbera, he helped write and animate legendary cartoons
Y'all
like
need
Johnny
some water?
Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory.
Y'all want
And
some
while
wings?
most animators work behind the scenes for years before
Fuck
ever
wrong
getting
with
the
y'all?
opportunity to share their own projects, MacFarlane just kind of skipped the line. He pitched a crude, low-budget cartoon about a dysfunctional family featuring an alcoholic dad, a talking dog, and a violent baby to various networks, and Fox took a gamble on him. In 1999, Family Guy was born, making Seth...
I'm still trying to see what the was the big bad episode. I'm still trying to figure out what that was.
MacFarlane, the youngest
Should I eat, two
showrunner
Impossible
in
burgers and a
television
potato
history.
salad? I'm
But what
good.
nobody knew at the
Oh,
time
yeah.
was that this show would go on
yeah,
to
you
change
sitting right.
the animation landscape and make
I'm
Seth
just not
one of
getting
the
my
most
wings now.
hated men in the industry. Over the years, Family Guy has been called many things, from iconic to offensive, but if there's one word that keeps coming up, it's lazy. I enjoy Family Guy because it's something you can watch and laugh at without thinking. It has a formula, and that formula is easy to digest and laugh at without needing to pay attention. It's a good background show, something to listen to when doing
Appreciate
something
that,
else. If
Supermod.
you're going to expect a story, don't
Hopefully
try
it
to
works.
expect it from Family Guy.
I'm only doing
That's
these
missing
reactions because I'm waiting for it to update in the background.
the point. Much of the criticism towards Family Guy is that the show has a repetitive formula, and once
And we
you
need
see
something
it,
to watch.
you can't
Y'all
unsee
just
it. A
watching me
large
eat
amount
chicken
of the
and listening to
episodes are
music.
basically Peter does something stupid, Brian and Stewie go on some weird side quest, Meg gets bullied for no reason, and every few minutes they put in a random cutaway gag that has absolutely nothing to do with the story.
I thought I could deal with being blind at first, but I don't know. I haven't felt this out of place since that week I lived with Superman.
We must stop Lex Luthor before he irradiates the world's supply of gold.
Hi, sorry. I know you got a meeting going on, but, we are officially running low on Mr. Pibb and Cheez-Its. Just putting it out there. If you're heading to the store later, 800-mile drive for me, like, 5 seconds for you.
Critics believe Family Guy doesn't rely on good storytelling or deep character arcs, and instead fires off quick, easy, and pointless jokes.
So what's the point? What's the problem with that, though? You got reactions back. Let me see what's up. But what's the problem with that? If it's just like quick, stupid, you know, jokes or whatever, it's cartoons, bro. It's an adult cartoon. It doesn't have to have like, all right, me personally, if I'm watching a cartoon that's supposed to be funny, I'm not really looking for like lore. I'm not looking for everything to fucking make sense. It's already supposed to be like nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be random cartoon bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm not looking for a cohesive storyline, a plot, this, that, the third. Nigga, make me laugh. That's about it. Make me laugh and something that I can maybe, you don't know, make a meme out of or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Make a gif out of or something. I'm not looking for nothing really deep. Then if I am, I'll watch like fucking sci-fi, or I'll go watch a actual TV show. But if I'm going for like cartoon nonsense, I'm not looking for a cohesive plotline. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I see.
Some hit, some miss, but it doesn't really matter because the show moves so fast that nobody has time to care. Family Guy's cutaway gags used to enhance the quality of the overall episode, making the show's style unique. But over time, they stopped being objectively funny and became random for the sake of being random.
Peter, when did you become so polite?
Oh, I've been hanging out with Caillou's beta dad. In fact, I'm meeting him at the park to eat unsalted saltines on the swings.
Oh, a
I feel
nigga
like
Pootie?
you're wearing what Rachel Maddow would wear to a pumpkin patch.
As the years went on, many thought that the show was using these gags as a way to
meets
fill up
Charles-
their
oh.
time slot and maybe make up for poor writing.
Okay.
We know for
I
sure
gotta check
this is
this
how
out.
The Simpsons creator Matt Groening felt, because he did not shy away from blatantly making
That's why I was like, all right, as of late, Family Guy had like funny moments and shit. But like, I never really was that in Family Guy from the beginning. It was just certain things. Certain things was funny. But, you know how certain shows, like, I never watched The Simpsons that much, but you know how like they'll follow a plot or a storyline or some shit, and then they'll keep it going. I mean, that's cool and all, but if I'm watching cartoons and shit, I really don't give a fuck about like a whole goddamn storyline. I just want to laugh and I want to see some nonsense. I'm not gonna hold you. Happy birthday, Tay. That wouldn't be shit without you. W Pen. Hell yeah. On God.
fun of Family Guy
God.
in front of their millions of viewers.
I think that's the realest
At
shit you
start
said
of
all week, and that's
1999,
only
Family Guy
Tuesday.
made its debut on Fox, while The Simpsons was
God.
already on its 11th season. Immediately, the two shows were competing
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna have to
viewers
check that
on
shit
the
out.
same
You know I fuck with
network,
Pootie.
with Family Guy pulling similar numbers to The Simpsons.
I'm gonna check
The
that out.
Simpsons officially ignited the beef in the episode Treehouse of Horror. In the episode, Homer discovers how to clone himself, but his attempts were not perfect. Some of the clones came out looking off. As the camera pans across the field of cloned Homers, one of them looks like Peter Griffin. Seth MacFarlane realized that this was Groening accusing Peter Griffin of being a copy of Homer Simpson, and that accusation is not too far from the truth. The Simpsons pioneered adult animation in the mainstream, proving that animated shows could appeal to more than just kids and can oftentimes be edgy and controversial. And the genius behind the show was Matt Groening. Unlike Seth MacFarlane, who had a degree in animation, Matt Groening was just a self-taught hobbyist trying to make ends meet with his cartoons. In the late 70s, he was living in Los Angeles, barely scraping by, drawing and selling his own self-published magazine called Life in Hell. After his cartoon got the attention of Hollywood producer James Brooks, who produced talk shows and small TV shows, he asked Groening to make short animated skits for The Tracy Ullman Show, which resulted in Groening creating a batch of characters for these segments called The Simpsons.
Here we have.
That's how The Simpsons was born? Did not know that.
Bart Simpson, the young lad who captured the notorious candy store bandit. How does it feel to be a hero, Bart?
Pretty damn good, Phil.
Your family must be proud of you right now.
I bet they're jumping up and down.
What started out as shorts on a sketch comedy show in 1987 quickly turned into a full-length series by 1989, and from the moment it premiered, it was an instant cultural sensation. The Simpsons wasn't just another cartoon, it was the cartoon. The show took the classic family sitcom formula seen in popular shows like The Cosby Show and flipped it on its head. Instead of a picture-perfect suburban family, you had Homer, who is a beer-drinking, insane father that often physically abuses his son. son. Marge is a tired mother constantly trying to hold the family together. Bart is a preteen aged menace that lives to cause chaos. Lisa is a misunderstood genius in a messed up family. And Maggie is a baby who doesn't talk too much but has a lot of personality. And not to mention the people of Springfield, which is filled with seemingly an endless list of side characters that fans would slowly get to know over the years, such as Ned Flanders, Krusty the Clown, Sideshow Bob, Snake, Professor Frink, and so many others. What made The Simpsons revolutionary was how it could go from making fun of politics and pop culture to having genuine interactions that made the characters feel real.
And also, one thing that you also forgot to add as well, Pat, the fact that these niggas have been predicting the future for like decades, nigga. They've been foreshadowing shit that actually happens in real life. Like they have inside knowledge. It's like they got the blueprint for life of like world events and stuff, and they just so happen to make it a little satirical. You know how they put a little bit of truth in front of you, just a little bit. They'll put a little bit of truth in front of you in some movies or in like cartoons, subliminal messaging and like commercials and shit. Just a tad bit of truth in front of you so you can see it. So when the shit actually does hit the fan, it's not that far-fetched. Because niggas don't want to, when I say niggas, I'm talking about them other people. They don't want to cause mass global panic, because then all the whole infrastructure that they built is going to crumble. Because they're going to be like, God damn it. Now the rats are not going to run on the wheel anymore, and they just going to scurry around. And now it's fucked. Truth's out there. Fuck. Well, Dan finally said too much. They about to find his ass. This is last stream. I'm just hypothetically speaking, of course.
Like, these weren't just wacky cartoon characters, they represented people that you knew in your real life.
It's just my sober brain spewing, that's all.
It was about telling great stories that happened to be hilarious,
just speculating.
And it worked. By the early 90s, The Simpsons was the most watched show on television, with viewership peaking at 15 to 20 million viewers per episode. Family Guy, on the other hand, was canceled twice in its first 3 seasons. For me probably if I get assassinated. Many people felt it was the inferior copy of The Simpsons. However, they came back stronger than ever due to massive DVD sales and high ratings on reruns. The senior vice president of Fox Home Entertainment said, Family Guy had proved an unexpected success on DVD as well. The first boxed set of episodes has sold 1.55 million, ranking number 3 among television shows behind the first season of The Simpsons on Fox and Chappelle's Show on Comedy Central. After the show came back on air in 2005, it dominated, with the 4th season averaging 7.9 million viewers per episode, which at the time was more than twice as many viewers as South Park. And looking back on season 4, it's easy to see why it performed so well.
He takes
talking about that
hold their breath.
Live in the internet waves.
Is America's last hope to take home the gold. Oh, did you see that, Mitch? I sure did, Kathy. That was impressive.
Season 4 is called by some peak Family Guy. It was paced well, funny, and just the right amount of offensive. The cutaways were tasteful, adding to the chaos without taking away from the story. And during Family Guy's resurgence in popularity, The Simpsons writers decided it was the perfect time to diss them once again. In season 17, episode 8 of The Simpsons, 2 Italian police officers are flipping through a book of known criminals. As they skip through the mugshots, you can see a picture of Peter Griffin with the crime of plagiarismo, which means plagiarism in Italian. The diss could not be more clear, again claiming that Family Guy is stealing the premise of The Simpsons. They also threw a bonus jab in at American Dad, which is Seth MacFarlane's other show.
Okay, I didn't even see he was sneak dishing like that.
Copy of a copy. And while these jabs feel like The Simpsons play fighting with Family Guy, South Park came out of nowhere and dropped an absolute bomb on them. A diss that was so brutal that multiple writers in the animation industry personally thanked them for attacking MacFarlane. Matt Stone and Trey Parker were just 2 film school kids from the University of Colorado who couldn't care less about what other people thought of their humor. They both believed that comedy could be as offensive and brutally honest as possible while also having a great story. In 1992, Matt and Trey met on the set of a student project. To pass time in between takes, they would do voices for each other trying to make the other one laugh, and they instantly became best friends.
You do eating sounds? Oh yeah.
That's a cuttlefish and That's a cuttlefish and asparagus is not sitting well. Oh no! Cuttlefish is about to come out of my. Oh, here it comes. Oh, it's going to be a rot. Hold on, Kaider. I believe in you.
At the end of every semester,
I knew these niggas had to be geeking when they recorded some of that shit.
And since it was right before Christmas, they
How the fuck
needed
the
something
creators
Christmassy. So
in
Matt
that
and Trey
photo
decided
look
to
like-
use construction paper cutouts to animate
Kinda.
characters and make their first short together called Jesus vs. Frosty, which would lay the foundation for what we now know as South Park. After college, both Matt and Trey moved to LA, where they would meet Fox executive Brian Graydon at a screening of their indie film, Cannibal the Musical. Brian loved their style so much, he decided to help spread their work around the industry. After some back and forth negotiations with companies like Fox and MTV, Comedy Central decided to greenlight the first episode of South Park. Although it is still in the adult animation genre, South Park takes a different approach than Family Guy and The Simpsons. South Park is all about creativity and unpredictability. One week, the elementary-aged kids are dealing with normal school drama, and the next, they're fighting a war against gnomes stealing people's underwear. And yet, that's still not even the craziest situation these kids have gotten into.
Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott?
Oh, yeah.
I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili. Oh my God! Oh my God!
That was a W episode.
Yeah. I made you eat your parents.
South Park instantly turned Comedy Central from a struggling cable network to a network powerhouse, pulling in between 3.1 and 5.5 million viewers per episode.
The nigga with hella
By
minds?
season 2,
The
it
dreadhead?
was breaking records.
The Big Bag
On
Jr.?
April 22nd, 1998,
The anime watching?
episode Cartman's
Marvel
Mom is Still a
rival?
Dirty
Four fry
pulled in
eating nigga?
6.2 million
The
viewers,
manager
making it the
at the movie
highest
theater?
rated non-sports
The
show in
arthritis
cable
too, nigga?
history at
Oh,
the
yeah, I
time.
remember him.
To put it into perspective, 8 of the 10 most watched shows on cable that spring
yo.
were South Park episodes.
I love
In just
that.
over 1 year, Trey Parker
Remember
and Matt
me,
Stone took
yes.
over cable TV.
Remember
They
me
also
as
developed
such.
a seething
Honestly?
hatred for Family Guy. When at
Knock on wood. All jokes aside. Something bad happened to me, cuz. I want that exactly. Like, on like a tombstone or something, yo. Exactly, like verbatim. You know what I'm saying? And even if my family members be like, nah, fuck that. I want that, yo. I actually do. That shows that you've been around. You've been paying attention. Even though you be frying my ass up. You make fun of the games I play. You make fun of the way I walk and the way I talk. But you be paying attention. He said, niggas, you finna cry? I'm trying to keep it in. I'm trying to keep it together.
asked about how he feels about Seth MacFarlane's Empire,
Touch my
Trey
cortisone.
Parker said, "There's more and more stuff every day finding its way onto American television that I think is really great. But then you get this bubblegum shit that's just like by the book. What we call 9 to 5
That shit
comedy
means
writers.
something to me.
They mostly have families and kids, and that's the most important thing. And then they go into work and write comedy, and when
That's it,
it's 5
tighten up.
o'clock,
What the
it's
fuck?
time to go. It's gag humor. And gag humor drives
I
us
need to get a
crazy,
toothpick.
where it's just like, here's a
Shit
gag,
annoying me now.
here's a gag. It's got nothing to do with what's going on in the show, just like, here's a gag. And anyone who
And players
writes
can't
comedy
cry?
knows that that is the very
It's a good thing my
easiest,
eyes are dry. Good
simplest
thing I'm a
to
W
do,
actor,
and
'cause
you
if
don't
I was
really
crying
need
for real,
any talent
that's
to
probably
do
how you
it.
were like,
You just
nigga.
need to learn the craft.
Nigga,
and
you
do
crying?
it. Similar frustrations were
This nigga
expressed by
crying,
John
y'all.
Kricfalusi,
Look at him.
the
That
creator
nigga
of
crying.
the iconic
He got
cartoon, Ren and
feelings. He a
Stimpy.
bitch.
If you're a kid wanting to be a cartoonist today, and you're looking at Family Guy, you don't have to aim very high. You can draw Family Guy when you're 10 years old. You don't have to get any better than that to become a professional cartoonist. The standards are extremely low. Tensions in the animation industry were at an all-time high, with more people speaking out against Family Guy than ever. So in 2006, Matt and Trey decided to escalate the tension to a full-blown war. South Park released a 2-part episode titled Cartoon Wars. In the episode, Cartman really wants to sabotage Family Guy
Look at
because
him,
he
y'all.
hates their
He
lazy
crying.
gag writing. As Cartman
Look at
arrives to
him.
the
Look
Fox
at him over
Network
there.
writing room, he is
Crying
shocked
like
to
a
learn that Family
bitch.
Guy is written by manatees who pick random idea balls from from a tank. Each ball contains a verb, noun, or pop culture reference, which the manatees choose an idea ball and swim it over to the joke combine. South Park essentially proves how formulaic and ridiculous Family Guy jokes are by assembling 5 idea balls that say laundry, date, winning, Mexico, Gary Coleman.
Peter, you didn't do the laundry today.
You think that's bad? Remember the time I won a date to Mexico with Gary Coleman?
¿Qué pasa, señores? What you talking about, Willis?
When this episode released, millions of people around the world witnessed South Park
that is a mean jab.
Family Guy's value
That's a
to
mean
the
jab.
entertainment industry.
I give him that.
And it turns out, Matt Stone and Trey Parker were not the only ones in the industry who hated Family Guy.
After the first part aired, we got calls from people at The Simpsons saying thank you, because they actually hate Family Guy more than we do, even though they won't say it. And then we got calls from people that work on King of the Hill saying, they said, quote, "You're doing God's work by ripping on Family Guy." And like, because Family Guy is kind of this, it's like the Justin Timberlake thing. It's like when you're a musician and you're doing your stuff and you're working hard and you're trying to do art, and then Justin Timberlake comes along and just rakes in all the cash and everyone thinks he's awesome. You're like, dude, come on, that's not that good.
Up until this point,
That's not
McFarlane
that
never
good.
really responded to the jabs and criticism towards his show, but this attack was too big to ignore. Ironically, he didn't fire back at South Park. Instead, he shifted his anger towards his original haters, The Simpsons. However, many believe he took it too far, and this joke nearly destroyed his reputation forever. In a 2007 Family Guy episode titled Moving Out, at the bottom of the screen appears a bumper for The Simpsons, with a miniature Marge waving to the audience.
Oh, I think I remember seeing this shit. Oh, I remember seeing, like, doesn't she get like beat the fuck up or something? Like, I do remember seeing this shit as a kid. Now I'm thinking about it. When I was a kid, I'm just thinking it's just harmless, like cartoon violence. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we grew up watching like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and shit like that. So I was kind of already numb to like cartoon violence and shit. So I'm just assuming, okay, it is what it is. But I think that's what happened. Or if he just looks down there like, what the hell is that? Or some shit like that. I do remember that.
Because both shows air on Fox, this could have easily been mistaken for a genuine promo. Then Miniature Quagmire
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah. Quagmire comes and he does quack things without consent.
Over and attempts to essay Marge. She fights him off and dashes off screen, but then Quagmire, with his pants around his ankles, chases after her. Then it cuts to a shot outside of the Simpsons' home where we can hear Marge and Quagmire having sex in the parents' bedroom. Homer then walks in, catching them, shocked. And from there, you can hear Quagmire shoot and kill the entire Simpsons family.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I remember this.
You shot my homie!
You shot my homie!
I'm calling the police!
I can remember!
So, Simpsons R-word and murder. Yeah.
I remember that episode. And then like the last one was Maggie. And then he turned around. Yeah, I remember that episode.
That got dark real fast. This scene was so brutal, it actually never made it to live TV. The only reason we ever got to see this scene was because it was included in the Family Guy DVD box set. Also on the DVD, Seth MacFarlane does a director's commentary where he discusses this specific scene, doubling down that he feels this joke was not too far and it should have been aired.
I'm not going to be diplomatic.
Yo! Wow, bro. Wild ass timing. You did that shit right as the plug pulled up. You know what I'm saying? Right as the plug pulled up. About to get some fresh cabbage. Give me a second. Be right back. Crazy timing. We're almost done with this reaction too. Then I'm gonna see if see about this motherfucking game, bro. Crazy timing though.
Because
Oh
what happened here was fucking bullshit. This is a gag. I got a call from the network saying you can't do this. You cannot do this gag. And with the Simpsons, and I said, why not? They've made fun of Family Guy like 5 times, which they're entitled to do. Make fun of everyone, so do we. So what's why can't we take a little shot at them? And they said, well, because we want to end the feud. And I said, well, what feud? What are you talking about? I talked with Matt Groening, who has a wonderful sense of humor about this stuff. And, there's no feud. And plus it's...
We actually have had a couple of writers, Simpson writers, who have written for Family Guy, Richard Pell and Brian Scott.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they've taken many, many shots at us, again, all of which have been funny. And Fox said, well, this seems a little personal. And I said, well, how could it be any more personal than a picture of Peter Griffin on a wanted poster that says plagiarist?
They made fun of me. Why can't I make fun of them? Seth, you shot a baby. Likely due to the network just wanting the beef to be over, both Family Guy and The Simpsons stopped taking...
Okay, in Seth MacFarlane's defense, my nigga, he didn't actually shoot a fucking baby. Nobody was actually harmed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was actually great. Nobody was actually dirty. It's crazy.
20 old school on this track. I feel invincible. This new school ain't really got rules and lacks the principles. Got more clowns than the Motown. They put in Critical, the Gunsmoky, Robinson. You need a miracle. Go back, homie, back when rappers used to be lyrical, when 9 out of 10 of his friends used to be criminal. The stats, homie, all these killers are sent subliminals, y'all don't even smile in your pictures, you dudes is miserable. Shadow Bob DSG just gave this broke nigga in need 20 of spare change, a few more he can afford rent.
Bro,
yeah.
The accent makes it so much hilarious, so much more hilarious that it's hard for me to listening to the accent rap. It's so hard to decipher whose bars are those. This shit is funny, bro. Appreciate the 20 piece. What it do? Cheddar Bob, what's the word, my guy? How you feeling? I don't know who bars those were though, but I've heard it before. It's just the Indian accent always just kind of throws it off for me.
Jabs at each other for a while. Allegedly, Matt Groening was upset
with
Seth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody really got hurt. I'm like, come on now. Are y'all really gonna be like, oh my gosh, you shot a fictional baby? Bro, they're writers. They both make fucking crude adult humor. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang. Oh, I want to say I knew who bars those were. So that's what I'm like. I feel like, well, you know how Twitter niggas is. Twitter niggas is extra opinionative and boring as shit. But I mean, not boring, but bored. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's what I'm like. I feel like maybe that was blown a little out of proportion. But I'm not saying, oh yeah, that's cool to just. If you're an animator, all right, I get it. There's certain things you ain't really supposed to do. Obviously, if you got a kid audience or whatever, so I get it. Nah, nigga, still wrong for you to make a whole skit out of, you know what I'm saying? Nigga Quagmire going to the crib, smashing Marge, killing the whole family. I mean, I get it. I get it for both ways. I just feel like they being a little sensitive. I feel like, honestly, they just kind of hurt because of Family Guy's quick success. Even though it may be short, stupid, cookie-cutter formula, I mean, that it works. This is the day and age we kind of live in. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got shorter attention spans. Niggas are dumber. We got social media, and I ain't gonna hold you. Niggas are dumber. We got smartphones and dumb niggas, and attention spans are getting shorter, so... Seth was like, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna capitalize on these dumb niggas. They like short form of content, loud and obnoxious and goofy. They gonna eat it up. They both still cooking though, so no big deal. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, literally everybody got TikTok brain. So he's like, I mean, that's why I'm not even really mad at Seth. I feel like niggas was just kind of hating on him for using the quick route and being so successful with it. Cause I ain't gonna lie. I get it, as an animator or whatever, and you be like, damn, I gotta sit here, think about an actual captivating story. I gotta build a world around my cartoon so people feel immersed enough to keep on watching it season after season. And then, out of nowhere, you got this new show. Niggas literally just do nothing and make cutaways. And they making buku bread. They making the bread that you work hard for. Yeah, I can see how you could be a little bitter. But I ain't gonna lie, if it was me in that position, I'm like, hey, look, nigga, I'm eating, you eating. It is what it is. I don't really give a fuck. South Park is better either way to me. I want to say creativity wise, hell yeah. Nigga, the storylines in South Park are so fucking out of there. Yeah. On a creativity level, South Park shits on all of them. I'm not even gonna hold you. South Park does shit on all of them. On a creativity level, nigga, they are.
Is this nigga serious?
Yeah, bro. If I had to say which one is more creative out of like The Simpsons, Family Guy. Well, Family Guy is, I ain't gonna even lie. I mean, they're just random, not really creative. But like, and I never watched that much of Simpsons. Like, it was always on the TV because my brother and my sister, they older, they used to always fuck with the Simpsons. Simpsons is more creative. The Simpsons is more creative. The hell different into different intro every time. They did switch it up their intro. I mean, South Park, well, South Park did too, though. I'm not gonna hold you. We gotta wait. Now we gotta think about it. We gotta discuss this though. South Park did too. I don't know which one has the most seasons, but they switched up their intros all the time too. Bro, we can't even have a fucking discussion and hold a thought. We can't even have a discussion and hold a thought, bro. What the hell? Let's just end this real quick. Let's just end this recording.
Seth MacFarlane
but I don't know,
never
bro.
apologized for this explosive joke. He has been very honest about his admiration for The Simpsons and Matt Groening.
I don't know. I feel like these niggas is a little bit more creative though. I like The Simpsons too. I just prefer South Park. If I had to choose, like, if they like, all right, so if someone's like, hey, bro, what you feel like watching today? We got South Park right here. Fuck, hold on, show my camera. Why am I in a corner? Oh, yeah, I was in a corner. If someone's like, hey, bro, we got South Park right here, and we got The Simpsons right here. Which one you trying to watch? I'm not gonna hold you. I might lean towards South Park, bro. Because I feel like maybe that's just because I haven't seen a whole bunch of The Simpsons and shit. But like, actually, when The Simpsons was in their heyday type shit, and really, on all the fucking time. I don't know if it's still on. I don't watch TV, but like back in the day, I guess I was just a little too young to really understand some of the jokes. That's why I guess it kind of went over my head. You know what I'm saying? Or I just didn't pay attention, or it was kind of boring. But then like when, fucking Family Guy came around, it was more, I mean, not Family Guy, when South Park came around, it was more crude and goofy. It was more, you know what I'm saying, easier for my little kid brain to comprehend type shit. Tato! There she go. I was waiting for you to pull back up, and then I was going to crack open my beverage. Roger? You said Roger's the best character from American Dad? You know what? You know what? You might be right. I'm about to say, yeah, you might be right. Ricky Spanish. I'm about to say, I ain't gonna lie. You might be right. He did have... He was a fucking alien. He had nothing else to do but sit in that attic all day. I'm about to say, he was always changing up and doing different shit. It was kind of funny, too. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Roger was kind of funny. I'll give you that. I think he probably was, like... I think he did carry American Dad. Didn't they have another pet, too? They had Klaus, the goldfish Klaus. I was like, wait a minute, didn't they have a pet? I was about to say, didn't they have like a dog or some shit? Klaus.
Guys don't like you either, right?
That's more of a friendly rivalry. They
yeah, it's Tay-Tay.
Cartoons.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're done with that one. We're done.